attending list, and I please you to raise your hand. I please you, all of the participants, I please you to raise your hand. It's like Mr. Andrewana.
The Wi-Fi.
Okay, for other participants, I please you to raise your hand to check your attendance list. Okay, Mr. Chun, Mr. or Miss Jamie, Miss April, Mr. Eka, Mr. Naskin, Miss Reiki. Okay, I allow you to lower your hand. Okay, right now please help me to welcome our the moderator tonight is Miss Sophie Mutmaina. Will lead us for discussing about startup. Okay, for Miss Sophie, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Khodori. I'm so sorry because my internet is lost. Okay, before that, okay, guys, let me introduce. I'm sorry. Uh, okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Nur Sofi Mutmainah. I'm from Pariaman, West Sumatra. This time, the first time for me to lead this fantastic discussion with incredible people. Tonight, allow me to guide you about this fabulous discussion about by topic revitalizing startup to rejuvenate Indonesia innovative economy. Okay, before I I start, we have a question about our topic. The first question is, what is startup, guys? Okay. Before I allow someone to speak, I want to give opinion about what is startup. Okay. My opinion about startup is okay. The slide, Mr. Khodori. Next slide, Mr. Okay. What is startup? A startup is a newly established or newly operating companies that associate with the application of technological innovation. Okay, this is my opinion about what is startup. Maybe I want to hear someone want to speak or to answer this question. Okay, who want to speak the answer this question, guys? Want to speak? Please raise your hand. Hello, everybody who want to answer. Okay, Mr. Muhammad Indrawanov, please, time is yours.
Yeah, thank you. So, based on my opinion on also, this is a definition, real definition of the startup exactly. Startup is like the business that still try to finding the fit market and also the proper market for them. And also they still try to figure out which one the best business model that's related with them. So sometimes the several people got the misunderstanding regarding the meaning of the startup. The startup is only the only thing, so it's called by startup, not. So based on the definition that I mentioned before, startup, the definition of startup is almost similar to UMKM in Bahasa, exactly. But the several people in Indonesia, including the candidate of president of Indonesia back in 2019, they mentioned that young online. So it's called by startup. So this is the thing that I just want to convey here. Startup is when you try to find which one the proper market for you and which one the proper business models that related with your business. So it's called by startups. And also sometimes the several people say that startup is when your company still under 3 until 4 years, so it's called by startup. But when your company has been more than 3 or 4 years and you have got the legalities of that of your company, so it's not called a game by the startup. So this is my assumption. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Indrawanov. It's uh, best perspective. Okay, next, who want to speak and give information about what is startup? Please raise your hand. Who want to speak? Okay, Miss Sony Afriansyah, please please give your information. Give me give our information about what is startup. This is your time.
Hello.
Oh,
Okay.
Mister, I'm sorry. I think Miss.
Okay. No, no problem. Yeah. Um, what is startup based based on these words? I think that startup is not only for business. Startup is a title of the films in
Film drama,
yes,
K-drama ya.
yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this is just a pro breaking up, right? Yeah, that's I still like you. Startup is the youngest company that I know that a startup is the first or start our business to big, but it's still relate with our innovation technology.
Yeah.
My opinion about the startup, but it's startups not only based on according in economy, also is like drama and film. Startup is the title. Only that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tony. The best information. Okay. Who want to answer? Who want to speak again about what is startup? Please, someone raise your hand. Hello, guys.
May I?
Okay, Mr. Udori. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank for your question that you give to me. I would like to deliver my perspective about startup. Startup, which is a company or the new company, what has been mentioned by Mr. Indre, the new company, which is confusion because they have to look for the founder to refund their company. Yeah, this is for my perspective about startup. This new company that they look for the fund, what is it? The regulator, or yeah, the regulator for catching legalize, yeah, for getting the legalize. And sometimes they, not sometimes, commonly they are less for getting the visit, getting the refund. Who will refund them because they are less of money. Okay, that's it for my perspective about startup. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, exactly. Startup. It's not about money. Maybe another. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Khodori, for your information. Okay. Maybe who want to speak again? What is startup, guys? Okay. Who want to speak? Okay. If if enough, or maybe we can new slide. Okay, the next question is, what act or characteristic can someone build or work at a startup? Okay, before that, I want to answer this question. Maybe, okay, Mr. Kodari, please. Okay, maybe from my research, uh, who want to can start can join in startup. Maybe the ideal act for startup building, maybe many people think to start or a startup in the age of 2021 or more, like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. But according to research, the startup that very fast grow and success are founder it in higher age, maybe with an average age of 42 or more. But going back to building a startup has not age limit. Maybe we become a new guest or staff job. Okay, just enough my opinion. Maybe who want to speak up to answer this question? Place your hand, guys. Okay, Mr. Indre Wanov, please your time.
Yeah, so based on the definition of the startups, so if you want to build a startup, there are three complements that it should be needed. First of all, there is a hustler. Hustler is like one of the persons that really already knows regarding the business model, the product, and that related with the flow of your business. So it's called by hustler. And the second is hipster. Hipster is the man that really understand regarding to design graphics, regarding to something that relate with to marketing. So it's called by hipster. And for the last is hacker. Hacker is the persons that has a big expertise related to web developer, related to application and others. So there are three things if you want to create the startups that it should be the necessaries for the all of you as the teams. But sometimes there are the several persons that they can become the full stacks. They can be a persons that handle it the all of them. So we can see from one of the inspiring person that become our minister right now. He is Mr. Nadiem Makarim. Mr. Nadiem Makarim can handle three of the things that I mentioned before. First of all, he knows about the business, yeah, because also his major as the international business in NUS exactly. And the second, he can become the hipster, and the third, he can become the web developers. So only him, he can make the startup. But sometimes if you're trying to make the big one, of course you need the team. And the team, yeah, the themes that it's really help you to create the same visions, to create the same journey together. It's not only the smart person, but the person that have the same vision and mission. So you're able to make your own startup. So this is my definition regarding the characteristic that needs to build the startup or work at the startup. Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Indrawanov, for brilliant answer. Maybe want to speak again or answer what the Mr. Indrawanov pro agree or not. Maybe who want to speak? Okay, okay, guys. Mr. Miss or Mr. Riz, Miss Sunshine or Mister. Okay, Mr. Sunshine, it's your time. Please give our information about this question.
Even when I turn on the camera, I don't know
Okay.
why am I still being called as
Okay, Mister.
Mish.
I'm sorry. I think you're a woman. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for the time given.
Okay.
So
Sorry. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. So, what
Sunshine. Yeah.
age? Okay, what age can someone build up a startup? I believe that in building and constructing young or early corporations, I believe that it is not limited on particular age. But what I believe that need to be possessed by someone who has the spirit or initiative in constructing this startup, they need to have a strong leadership sense, and they also have to be visionary type leader, because building startup and make it sustainable, how to keep productive continuously and gradual, it is not so easy. They have to have a strong position of character. Uh, and I can say in regard to this is that we need someone who expert, yeah, who have been an expert, not only in terms of marketing, but also in terms of looking at um, potential or opportunities inside the market. So instead of waiting for the ball to come at them, they they should catch up the ball. They should create a demand in the market instead of being demanded by the market. So I believe that not only sense of leadership, but someone, regardless the age, who wants to build a startup need to possess uh, a strong marketing sense and also mm, financial accuracy and interpersonal and communication skill. Meanwhile, they also need to be equipped with analytical, conceptual, and critical thinking in how they can, uh, how to say, correlate all the things in web, yeah, to one coordination with all staffs, with all employees that they have, that she has. Uh, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, in short, they need to have a strong sense of leadership, visionary, have a strong marketing and financial accuracy. Uh, it seems like IELTS Kermit courage. I'm sorry. So, yeah, they also need to have what is it? A conceptual, analytical, and critical thinking, so that it can help him in building a really constructive coordination and interpersonal situation with other staff or employees. I think that's one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine. Maybe the characteristic his we must always have always apa ya? Always have new opinion. Always study and always what the name is. Okay, forget it. Okay, maybe who want to answer or uh, answer what the Mr. Sunshine say or answer this question about what age or characteristic can someone will or work at a startup. Okay, guys, who want to speak?
Can I give my addition?
If the reason, maybe I want to choose someone to speak. Okay.
Mr. Indre first. Mr. Indre.
What, Mister?
Yeah, can I give the addition?
Okay. I want to choose Mr. Okay. Mr. Ridwan, please give our information about this question. Hello, Mr. Ridwan. Okay, Mr. Ridwan. The reason? Okay, maybe
Mr. Indri. Mr. Indri.
Mr. Indri. Okay, and Miss, oh yeah, Mr. Indri, please.
Yeah, so actually, I just want to give my knowledge because it's been 3 years I work in Google Ventures exactly that related to become the mentors in many startups in East Java. So maybe if you know about the several programs that called by Seribu Startup, that called by Startup Weekend, Women for Startup and others. So I'm become one of the persons behind of that the doors. So last time I told about the someone how to build a startup, the three things that is related with hacker, hustler, and hipster. So related to work at a startup as a become the coolest thing nowadays as the youth exactly. So people or the several stakeholders in startup, they are really clever. They know regarding to the research that said that the Z generations, they will change their job is more than 14 times in their life because they want to get the first experience and they're trying to move to another experiences and they try to move to another companies, they're trying to move to another startup and because they only want to get one that is experiences. Is the reasons that the Z generations, they prefer to move only want to get the experiences from one companies to another companies. So this is the reasons that in the several startups, yeah, they give the freedom to the youth, yeah, to get to do their job is not what happened to the several years ago. Exactly. In the several years ago, they will give with um, the boring contract that make them have to dedicate all of their life is in one company. But the several startup is like in Bukalapak, it's like in Tokopedia, they give a chance with the short contract that make them can survive, that make them can get the another experience if they want to resign from their job. So this is the reasons that work in a startup has the different what environment has a different habit with the several companies that you have already known before. It's like in the big ones. So this is my statement.
Okay, Mr. Inderwanov, thank you for the statement. Okay, want to give our information again? It's enough? Okay, Mr. or Miss Cikoneng Ilir. Okay, Mr. or Miss Cikoneng Ilir, please your time.
Okay, thanks for
Mr. Okay, Mr.
Miss Sophie
Yeah,
or
me.
Mutmainah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity. Perhaps I wanna ask Mr. Andre or whatever they are. They really expert about startup. I
Yeah.
had a question about the marketing because when we talk about the startup, it's totally different with the industrial activities. First of all, the new startup will be difficult to defeat the biggest one, perhaps like Bukalapak and Gojek and the other. On the other hand, there are the new startup that will tackle the problem among the society. Perhaps, for example, like what Mr. Indrewanov did, Kampung course or whatever they are. And I had a question: how the new startup can invite, what is that? The producer. I mean, like a marketing style to invite the people who will take a business at the startup. What is the way that perhaps they can defeat the bigger one? Because there are a lot of the new startup that is defeated by the biggest one, not only in the national startup but also in the international startup.
Okay, maybe Mr. Chikoneng or two question for Mr.
Ya, siapapun.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Indra.
Okay, well,
Maybe
so
Mr. Indra answer.
this is really interesting questions, but I will try to explain detail later on. But I just want to make it simple from the books that I've read. That this is the fundamental books from the several startup reads. This book is called by Blue Ocean Shift. Yeah. They're trying to define between two innovation in all of the world. The first is called by Red Ocean, and the second is called by Blue Ocean. The thing that you mentioned before, many competitors, many giant in front of you, so it's called by Red Oceans. Yeah, but this is like the challenge for all the startup trainers. If the investor asking you, is there a competitor, and when you try to answer no, you did the silly thing at the time. So this is the reason that you have to do the big research, you have to do the big validations, how to defeat your competitor, how to give the value propositions that make you are different with your competitors. So from that book, they try to mention, yeah, and explain regarding the story Jack Ma, how he can make Alibaba at the time when eBay, in one of the giant one from United States of America back then, has subjugated the market. And the answer of Jack Ma is simple. eBay as the shark in the blue oceans, but we are Alibaba as the crocodile in the river. So what the meaning behind that? The meaning is they have their own niche market, the specific one, yeah, between ocean and also river. So this is the reason how the way for you how to be win, especially if you want to meet with the giant. It's almost same with the several years ago that I met when I trying to create the Kampung course until today that is still sustained. When in the front of me there is the biggest one. It's like Ruang Guru. It's like what else I can mention one by one, Udemy and others. So how to make me win? I have my niche market there. I have my own niche market that is Kampung Inggris as the niche market. So how about in my niche market? Is there a competitors too? Of course, yes. So what is the competitors? There is Eureka, there is Visipare and others. So how to be win? How to be a winner with them? I put my added value proposition. What is my added value? I take a cooperation with one of the company in the United States of America. Yeah, while people register in my platform, they can register in my platform to join with one of the course in Kampung Inggris. And the value proposition or the added value is they can learn directly with the native as the bonus if they register in my platform. So this is the unique value proposition. This is the niche market that I can offer to the people that make the people prefer to choose my platform to get the registrations. Exactly. So this is the little story about how to win with giant.
Okay, Mr. How Mr. Chikoneng Ilir?
Yeah, is it clear? Thank you, Miss Sophie.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any else want to speak about this question? Mr. Sunshine, want to speak it again?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Sunshine, time is yours.
Thank you for calling me Mister. Okay. Anyway, I'd like to also respond to the question given by Mr. Chikane about how to stay competitive, and we can overshadow those startups that become huge challenge for the newest or for just rejuvenated startups. How come they can survive on these tough and strict competitions? Um, when I was studying in my bachelor, uh, for your information, my major was management and my focus was on operation. I was like getting caught by a specific term which is called a comparative advantages. So to survive and to compete against other competitors, we need to at least have this comparative advantages. The first one is price, and the second one is differentiation, and the third one is responsiveness. Price, it means you offer a different price. It can be so much cheaper, like predatory prices. Okay, you put your price of services or product just much lower or cheaper than other competitors, or just like any normal market prices that they can over to you. Second one is responsiveness. Okay, so it means you react much faster in compared to other competitors in regard to what is actually going to be demanded by society. For example, like our society really expect that there will be such a breakthrough or groundbreaking findings in the new evolutions of camera in their handphone. So each company, each startup that can react faster to respond to answer these questions or these requests demand other markets, they can actually take the lead. And the third one is differentiation. Okay, this is what has been called by Mr. Indre before as additional values. Okay, so what makes your product or services so much unique compared to others product and services? What is something special about your product that I couldn't get it exclusively in other type of products or services? Okay, I think that's what I can add up to respond to the questions given by Mr. Chikanangin. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Sansen, exactly, we must have the unique product or sometime else. Okay, who want to speak again to answer this question?
Me, Miss?
Hello,
Hello?
who
Can I
who
give additional?
who is? Oh, Miss Nadia. Okay, Miss Nadia, I'm sorry. Please give your information. Give our information about this question. This your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you. I would like to add additional information related to what I know about startup. It is actually about the characteristic or unique product or services coming from startup. That's what makes startup is interesting for young people now. Uh, I think we have to implement ATM process, amati tiru modifikasi. So it's not only following the trend, but it is also finding something new, and it is also related to um, expanding the product and services because now people are starting making startup just by following the trends. But if we can say it clearly, startup is one of the contexts that can be much more bigger than only just a company. It is coming with a new idea, new strum of argumentation, and that what's interesting about startup. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nadia. Miss Nadia. Okay, sorry.
Thank
Okay,
you for calling me, Miss.
it's a brilliant perspective. Maybe okay. I want to hear want to speak again. It's so amazing answer. Okay, everybody want to speak? It's
Me, can I?
enough. Who?
Me.
Miss
Chachun.
Chachun. Miss
Miss
Chachun.
Chachun. Okay, Miss Chachun, Havana, please. Your time.
Okay. I want to give additional statements about how a company or a startup can survive in the competition with other startups. For the first, we need the workers that have open-minded, and then
Open.
we need workers that have a big creativity because you know that in this era so many startups that always follow the trend. So we need to know the psychologies of the consumer. So if we already know the consumer need it or necessity, and we can following them and we can make a new product or something that it's will it will be the necessity of the major consumer. Maybe that's all.
Okay, it's enough, Miss.
Okay, enough. That's
Okay,
all for me.
thank you, Miss, for your information. Okay, maybe one speak again. Uh, it's in. Okay, maybe next continue the question. Okay, maybe okay. This question. How do you think startup bring impact to Indonesia? The next question is okay. Before that, I want to question about this answer this question. Maybe startup can help empower community and improve economic quality through their technology based product and service. This is also support by increased technological adoption by the Indonesian people. Okay, that's enough. Maybe want to answer this question. How do you think startup bring impact to Indonesia? Maybe who want to speak up and answer this question, guys?
Imran.
Okay, Mr. Imran, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum. Well,
Waalaikumsalam.
see,
Waalaikumsalam.
startup, how they do impact. So, be it India, Indonesia, whatever. The first thing startup do, they create the job opportunity for other people. So, because at the end, if they are serving to the customer, so they will need somebody to serve. That's they create the job. For example, since Gojek came, a lot of people who had no degree, no job, they got a hope to have some income. They can just be Gojek guy and earn money, you know. So, first, it creates the job opportunity in the country. Second, it gives the other countries to an opportunity to investment, like a big companies who see, I know big startups in Indonesia like Traveloka, Gojek, Bukalapak, and Ruang Guru. These are the big startups I know. And I work in one startup, Kampung Course. Okay. So the startups first give opportunity to create the job, and it brings the products of the people. Like when like in India we have Uber, but it's not deeply integrated in our life, because like I hardly take Uber because it's kind of expensive, and mostly I can take a bus. On if we wanna order food, I just use different website. But like Gojek is deeply rooted in Indonesia's life. Everywhere you go, be it Kampung Inggris, Jakarta, or Jogja, you have Gojek everywhere. You can order food, you can deliver product, anything. Even today, I am in India, but I use Grab now. If I wanna buy some food for my crush, I use Grab to send the food. So, a startup is helping you to create job. A startup is serving the people, providing service. and they are helping to connect the people. Like before Grab, before we had Grab or like Blibli, I could never imagine sending gift to somebody. I have suppose I have girlfriend in Indonesia and I want to send gift to her. It will be very expensive if I send from India, but I can directly buy on Blibli and send to her. So startup is helping to connect people also. So these are the like kind of impact startup do: create job, make connections, serve using the product, give opportunity for other countries to invest on you, and that's it develop your economy. That's I guess that's all. Okay, okay.
Okay, it's enough, Mister. It's so amazing perspective. Okay, maybe have many have startup bring impact to Indonesia. Okay, who want to speak again? Mr. Cikoneng Ilir, please. Time is yours.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. For the pros, I think like what Mr. Imro mentioned before. But in the other hand, I also will mention how startup can bring a person in Indonesia to be the government official. One of them is the ministry, and one of them the staff sus, whatever is it, because of their track record. And in the other hand, because it is the competition, so there is the other set that will be eliminated. For example, like Opang at the first time. So there is a conflict between Opang and ojek online or driver ojol. And further, it's also happen in our entertainment, especially for um, mainstream television. They are defeated by perhaps the film series like a startup, Netflix, Disney, HBO, and whatever they are. Yeah, so it will be a competition. And further, in addition, I will say this startup can bring the harmful from the Indonesia, especially because as you know, Alibaba is a rival for the Amazon. So Alibaba is confirmed by the China, and also Amazon confirmed by the America perhaps. And regarding to this battle, we can call us the Cold War, and it's happened to South Southeast Sea for Indonesia. So it will be the harmful also for Indonesia because there is the competition between the industry, especially for the economists. How Indonesia can influence to international startup to compete with the national startup like Shopee at the current startup that is really bring a lot of bonus or a discount. I'm sorry to mention about the name, but because it will be struggle for the nation also to compete with the international when they don't have the supporting from the Indonesia government, especially. Thanks. This is for me.
Okay, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Cikoneng. Maybe how to survive startup in Indonesia. Okay, the next answer, Mr. Sony Afriansyah. Please, time is yours.
Okay, check. Opang is ojek pangkalan. Like in RCTI's film, right? Yeah, it's my opinions is 50-50. The R is 50-50. Can you imagine that? Yes, I agree with Mr. Imran Khan's statement before that in startup bring impact positive for Indonesia. It's based on the innovation and technology increase. It's not about the how can be our peoples here to ready for grab our innovation technology. I give you as example. In my hometown, it doesn't have a Gojek. It doesn't have anything in about the startup because that, yeah, they still have only Kuno. I don't know how it's in English, because that, yeah, it's only about based on innovation and technology. How can you imagine? Can you imagine that the startup is not have technology? It's not. I think it's not conducted. And when we see in readiness human resource, like in Indonesian, almost not almost, but some people in Indonesia cannot understand with the innovation and technology because that technology it has to our socialize for our people here. And yeah, I don't know, this is brings impact or not for Indonesia. Uh, that is my opinion. Thank you for giving me chance here.
Okay, no problem, Mr. Sonia Afrensha. Thank you for your answer. Maybe okay. I want to allow Mr. Indri. Please, it's your time.
Okay, well, so if last time we talked about microeconomics, today we're going to talk about the macroeconomics one. Yeah, I believe that many beneficial that has been given by startup. First of all, it's like labor absorption. They try to open many job vacancies and so on. And the second, they give the solution to the several small and medium enterprises that got opportunity to sell the product in e-commerce, and it will trying to influence the economics situation in Indonesia. And the third, give education and training, especially to SMAs or what I mentioned before, small, medium enterprises, make your life easy and others. However, I would like to talk regarding to the negative things that relate to the startup also in this situation. I talk regarding to the startup that has been the big one is has been called is like in unicorn, decacorn, on hectacorn for examples. But in Indonesia, we are still getting the unicorn. So what is the impact that the negative impact that they give for our countries exactly? Yeah. First of all, yeah, they still got the less in human resources. Yeah, the Indonesia still get less in human resources, high skill. Yeah, it's like what happening in Gojek exactly. Gojek still needs, yeah, the outsourcing, yeah, that handled by foreign worker in Bangalore, India, exactly. So Gojek still need India. Gojek still need a Bangalore city because how to develop their IT development. So this is the reason that it's such an honor. There is Imran here coming from India that maybe can explain regarding the startup ecosystem. Why India is one of the best one after United States today. So this is the reason that in the human high skill, yeah, Indonesia still lack of people, yeah, that expert to handle it. Yeah, so this is the reason that it will still give the negative impact for Indonesia until today. And the second, because of the giant one, because of the unicorn, sometimes the several investor, they try to abuse the big data. Yeah, big data is the new oil. Big data is the features of the business, is the feature of our life. If you got the big data, you can manage that to create the new business. Yeah. Because the definition is startup is the goal or the purpose of the startup is exit. Yeah, there is no founders will stay forever in their companies. It's like Zaki, yeah, in Bukalapak, and right now they have been out. Yeah, and the second is like Nadim. Right now they have been out. It's like Steve Jobs. The several years ago they have been out because the purpose of creating startup is exit. There are two exit. The good exit is when you have equity and after that all of them has been handled by the people, by your worker, so you only sleep and see the shine and see the beach with enjoyable and others. And the third is horizontal integration. Yeah, Indonesian startup is used to supply chain for another company to sell their product in Indonesia. People asking me why the China's product is cheaper, is cheap. You know what is the reasons? Because the reason is most of the investor in the several e-commerce in Indonesia is coming from China. I cannot mention it one by one, but if I have to mention, it's like Shopee, Bukalapak, GND, and others. They have the big investor, and they're coming from China. Of course, they put the agreement inside of that MOU itself that giving easier, especially for the China's product to come to Indonesia, exactly. And the fourth is market intelligence. You know, what is the reasons that many investors want to invest is not only because of the money, because they want to take that data, they want to take that validations that will be used for another companies. Yeah. So this is the reasons that it will make a market intelligence. And the last is it will be difficult for our countries to get the independence by our own feet. So maybe if you have read the CNN.com the several years ago, they trying to create one of the best article that called by colonial zaman now. Yeah, this is the reason that many countries with their capitalizations, yeah, they are getting collapse. Yeah, compared by the countries doing socialist in the countries like China, Cuba, Venezuela, and others in the pandemic situation. So this is the reasons that they have a big intervention how to decide the policy that's happening in our countries. They intervene, ya ikut campur, they intervenes our economic kitchens because of the investor. So this is the reasons that many negative impacts sometimes it will given by the several the big giant of the startup. So if you asking the founder today is like Zaki, is like Mr. Nadim Makarim and others, they only have minimum equity. It's like Nadim, their equity is no more than 5%. Could you imagine? Gojek is not Indonesian. Gojek is foreign. Yeah. But the founder is Indonesian. But for the equity is not Indonesian. So this is the reason that money goes to another countries. It's not goes to our countries. So this is related with the investor. It's talking about equity and others. So this is my opinion.
Okay, Mr. Indri, very much information from Mr. Okay, maybe want to answer again about this. I like go pie. Okay, guys, want to speak? Maybe I want to on another participant. I please you to deliver your opinion about this question. Who want to speak? Maybe Mr. Atan, Mr. Pasha, Miss Chami, Mr. Nasikin. Maybe please give our information. Mr. Iqbal, please your opinion. Mr. Iqbal. Okay. It's enough. Maybe we can.
Mr. Sunshine.
Mr. Sunshine. Okay. Mr. Sunshine, please. Your time. It's your time.
Well, I'd like to give an response to Mr. Indre statement before in regard to how that the wealth or the money injected from the investment mostly dominated by foreigners. But I could say that that's still so fine for us to tolerate the foreigners taking all the advantages and advantages, even because why it is so fine? Because I believe that without them, without their collaboration, without their contribution in terms of in the form of capital, I believe that Gojek or similar startup enterprises will be unable to develop themselves. And who will care about them unless those foreigner investors that actually can see something brilliant in the projects that those startup are developing. And in regard to these questions, what do you think that startup can influence our nation? I believe that digitalization is something that can be easily introduced by this startup because they want to change the conservative or the outdated way of marketing and branding something into into much easier, much more relaxing way of shopping and selling at the same time. I believe that it is really sad to say that digitalization is still included in a part of the system of industrial revolution 3.0, not 4.0. In 4.0, we actually can synthesize or integrate our system through all AOI, all of the IoT, Internet of all things, at a which is actually augmented with artificial intelligences. And Indonesia is still so far away from achieving that. And so far, digitalization itself is not equally contributed, and not all people are actually tech savvy to implement this kinds of technology. The functions of startup is to introduce to the people that by having this kinds of application and technology can actually ease up of developing in our developing nation. And I'm still saying that it's okay for foreigner to inject and gain so much revenues from investing to Indonesian startup enterprises because at the same time, who will care about those developing enterprises unless this foreigner that brave because when it comes to investing, there will be the value or gain or loss. And that's why I believe that they need to be appreciated with their bravery and confidence in investing toward Indonesian enterprises. And I think that's okay, even though they become richer and we at least can get something. We just actually can empower our domestic market. I think that's for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sansan. It's so interesting the statement. Okay, maybe who else who want to speak again? Mr. Indre, no? Okay, Mr. Imran Khan, please, time is yours.
Yeah, like I want to talk about what Mr. Indra said, and I also agree that a lot of startups are like colonized, like when British came to India, so they let the old king rule, but the main control was with the British. So it's like a false pride. Same happening with most of the startup. Like we believe, oh, it's our startup, but actually, if you see, most of its stake is controlled by the foreign investor, like from Chinese or from American. So it's actually not ours, and maybe it doesn't affect normal consumer. Like for example, suppose Gojek has 90% of investor from Singapore or from China, and most of the money of Gojek going to China. So as a consumer, it doesn't affect me because at least I'm still can use Gojek and whatever, or I still can buy the product. But it affects the small businesses. A lot of businesses get dying because of big startup because they are creating monopoly. One example is in India. So Amazon is one of the biggest e-commerce website for shopping. If you want to go shopping anything, you will go to Amazon. It's one of the biggest website in India. And legally, uh, a e-commerce company is not allowed to do business. Like you can just website and let other people, like you can, like you have the website, Amazon is a website, and Amazon can only allow other people, like other business, to make profile on the Amazon and sell their product. Amazon cannot like sell their product directly, but somehow Amazon got the loophole, and Amazon set up another company in India called Cloudtail. It's actually company of Cloudtail, but they sell it as a seller on Amazon, and mostly Amazon uh, recommend his product. Like if you want to buy any mobile or any electronic, Amazon will recommend you buy from Cloudtail. So this way, like the big companies, they're controlling the monopoly. The startup, they're controlling the monopoly. Like a lot of small businesses, they are getting cut, and they're not like they are not making profit. For example, now in the pandemic, a lot of institute, lot of teachers who used to teach, who don't have good camera or good laptop, they lost their job because they don't have enough resource to teach online. But a lot of online startup who do online teaching, they earn a lot of money from these. So if you see, somehow many startups are killing the small businessmen, the small self-employed people, killing their jobs and earning from it. For example, in India, we have Byju's. The Byju's recently, like 2 days ago, Byju's got big investment and became second biggest startup in India after Paytm. And Byju's is like controlling most of the edtech startup in India. Like Byju's bought Whitehead Junior and other companies bought it. So it is, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and then it's affecting other small institutes. Like 2 days ago, we had the news in news that many people who are teachers, they complain about the Byju's, that Byju's is saying only online education is good, offline education is not good. So their Byju's is killing their job because it's promoting themselves like, I am the best, buy from me, you don't go there. So somehow startup, my conclusion is, yeah, startup is good also, but somehow first, mostly their stake is foreign owned, as Mr. Indra says, and somehow startup is killing the small enterprise also, SMEs, they're killing it. That's my two main conclusion I wanted to say.
Okay, Mr. Imran, it's amazing idea. Okay, next, Mr. Fatan. Okay, Mr. Fatan, time is yours.
Hello, long time no see, Ota community. I want to talk about my opinion. Maybe how do you think startup bring impact to Indonesia? The simple answer is startup make people life easier, or make, in the other words, make people lazier. Like the Zoom, we don't need to meet each other. We can meet from our comfort house. So, but another answer is the startup who don't have clear business models, or startup that don't have startup don't have business model that can make the revenue, or startup that needs to burn money to satisfaction the customers, we can see many of them end up in monopolies. Either they bought by the bigger company, or they merger with another company. But it can, the negative impact of startup is it can bring monopolies in the end. In the end, like we can see in many industry, maybe Amazon in America, or Gojek in Indonesia, there's no chance for any new company with the same industry to enter the market, because they are too big now. So another another uh, another industry, maybe like education, we can see now still many new startup, how to say, we can see new startup, but we don't know the end game yet. Maybe now we can see the Ruang Guru, but and they still have the big rival also, like Zenius and so on and so on. But there's also a chance in the future Ruang Guru will acquisition another company that smaller than them, they can monopolize the education market in Indonesia. And also in the future, maybe we don't need school anymore. We can took education from online platforms, something like. So let's see how the end game will end up. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Fatan, this like a games. Okay. Okay. Maybe Mr. or Miss Chami. Okay, is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time. Well, I will give a response from Mr. Imran Hane. I really agree with his opinion that the digital or startup business can build a monopoly, like monopoly market. I really agree because we know that from digitalized business, they can sell our database based on if as a customer or as a user of internet or social media, we can they can startup company can direct us to buy their product. For example, if I interest in for example about electronic and then of course I will see every day like something like video about electronic or electronic account in Instagram or other, and then directly the digital company will give me in my home or my home account or in my dashboard to come up some advertise about electronics. So I think that digital business can make the customer cannot think more about their need clearly because they just get advertisement every day. So just sometimes it make the customer just what's that? How to say tergiur to buy that product because of the promotion and also because the other the most impact I think for like GoFood. Yeah, I mean some food online that can give the customer some voucher that it is look like cheaper, but there is some minimal buying, so that it is look like cheaper, but actually it's not really cheap. So just they it's like force the customer to buy their product by the customer database. I think that's the one of impact startup from customer side. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Chami is fantastic opinion. Okay, the next who want to speak again? It's not the reason. Maybe we can the next slide. Okay, the next slide is who influenced you to create a startup and why? Or co-founder Ruang Guru or Tokopedia, Korean Most Startup or others. Okay. Maybe first I want to answer this question. Maybe I so fantastic for Tokopedia because Tokopedia, the first Indonesian and Southeast Asian startup company to receive funding of US dollar 100 million. Maybe it's so amazing for me. Okay, just enough. Maybe want to speak answer this question, guys. Okay, Mr. Indre. Okay, Mr. Indre, please, it's your time.
Okay, because there is no one to speak up, so let me get my time to speak up. So basically, the several years ago, I was influenced by many people to encourage me to take a master in other countries. They invite me to take LPDPs. They invited me to take AS. They invited me to take Erasmus and many scholarships platforms that we offer nowadays. And I tried to mention it to one of the persons as my mentor today. And I say to him, yeah, I want to continue my study in other countries with LPDPs. So in the high building, they directly try to point the people in how to say uh, selokan. The people still the people clean a selokan that time. You see the people. He said to me, when you take the LPDP's program, you should give the impact to them. Yeah, because you took their money, you use their money to your education, to your happiness, how to make your eligibility will high. So this is his statement back then. So these are the reasons that in that time, trying to make me to thought twice. Oh yeah, what should I do? So he said, how if you're trying to make something, and he offered me to make him as my mentors back then, and he become my angel investor too. He paid for websites, yeah, for hosting in the first time, and after that, he made me love to create a startup. Yeah, until today, I run many startups. Yeah, it's not the first one directly to be get a succeed, but for the second, the third, maybe until five time I made the success startup that make my startup can go to Brown University in United States of America, go to Australian in Australian awards, get many achievements by Bank Indonesia and others. So it's not the first one. It has been five startups that make us can grow in that situations. So the reasons why we create startup is we want to be legacy. Yeah. When we are die, we want to be remembered as a life that we live. It's not because of the money that we have made. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Indre, it's a fantastic statement. Uh, why grow startup is not about money. Okay, who wants speak again? Okay, Mr. Sunshine, please, time is yours.
Absolutely. It's all about money. Why the hell we need to put our dedication to our society? We need to gain a lot, okay, because we need to give a lot before. It's a rule or the law of, of equality, right? So I believe that by having much more money, we can create much greater influence, okay, and dedication will come after that, because we believe that as the older we become, the higher the demands of life that we need to fulfill, right? We need to take a look at how our society nowadays are still hesitant and confused, at the same time how they can sustain their economic life. They couldn't afford to live under the pressures of this pandemic. They need to find more economic sources. Meanwhile, the number of unemployment rate is still increasing, and job vacancies is still not opening that, and many, how to say, pemecatan, firing, yeah, firing was still not accepting any kinds of uh, how to say counter situation in which there will be like many job vacancies opened. So yeah, yeah, I think that's how I react to Mr. Indre opinion before. But who's going to influence me to create startup? Of course, I mean, like yeah, like um, Bill or Stefan or Mark. Yeah, I believe like rich people that can easily spend their time without thinking too much, handling their business is like a public figure, a role model, and yeah, and how is in supporting me to have this kinds of goal, to have this kinds of aim, because I believe that surviving in this world, I mean, like principle in economic sense, is so hard. And how do we actually improve ourselves to have a healthy financial situation? And I believe by setting them as our principal figure in terms of economic improvement in our private life, it's going to be a really good energy and positive power to motivate us to work harder and more active. That's from me. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Sansan, it's a good idea, good statement. Okay, maybe want to speak again to answer this question. Hello guys, who want to speak again? Mr. Aldo or Mr. Ridwan, maybe. Okay, Mr. Imran Khan, please, time is yours.
See, like I don't have a startup. I never built one, but I dream to have one day like I can be own. There are two things that makes me dream of having a startup. The first is independence. Second is legacy, like Mr. Indre says. Independence from thinking of like, see, now I'm student, I'm doing job. So whenever I do something, like if I am buying a mobile, I have to think, should I buy the mobile or save this for juta for something for emergency? If I wanna go somewhere, I have to think, like, should I go there or I save money? So we wanna do a lot of things, but we have to think, but we have like, oh, should I save the money for later or I do it? And second, a lot of times we are doing job we hate. Like before I work in marketing, I really hated that job, but I did it because I needed money. So if you have a startup, something you love and you working on it, it's your own business, and if you inshallah making money out of it, that's one of the main goal. Nobody say that I want to be like only philanthropist, just charity. People want to earn for themselves too. So if finally if I can have the freedom of money, then I can do things I really want, not the thing I had to do because of situation, because I need money because of my parents. Like now I'm doing job and because I need money for my parents, for myself. But one day if I have business, my own startup, and it's making good money, I can do things I really want to do, not because of my parent, not because of my boss, but because I want to do this. That's why I want to have startup, one that's independent. Second, I also believe that we should not just live like a animal, like just grow up, eat, have sex, and die and leave babies. At least when we go, we should leave some legacy, something that people can see and remember that, hey, that there was a man who created this, and because of that man, I have this product, and I'm happy. This product is helping my life, making my life easier. Steve Jobs is there, Edison is there, lot of even people be full to me because I created something even I am dead. So there's two things, independence and legacy. That's why inshallah someday when I have no Benjamin and all and I don't have responsibility, I can create one of my startup sooner or later, inshallah. I mean,
Amin. Amin, Mister. Okay, thank you, Mr. Imran. I hope your dream come true. Okay, Mr. Muhammad. Okay, Mr. Please, it's your time, Mr. Muhammad.
Okay, thank you very much for your nice chance this evening, and I will try to answer this question. Who influenced you to create a startup and why? Uh, it started when I was in senior high school. My entrepreneur said teacher taught us to do. It's like, hey, you have to give something to the society. It's like as you're grateful in your life. So after graduating from senior high school, I and my friends, we decided to do or make a little like a startup, but actually, I don't know, it could say startup or no, but it's like we just want to have many people to solve their problem. And yes, and our project at the time is want to have many people to make their after advertisement. Like, yes, we created a design for them, and also beside it, we did we we were also as a teacher, like a freelancer teacher, but we didn't get money, some money or any money from them because we did it as a human, and we care with many students that in what is that in the Ramat village. So I just want to say I meant the conclusion of my speech this evening. Yeah, sometimes we don't need to think too much about the money or the advantage of our effort. We just have to do. Or yeah, I agree with Mr. Wait, Imran Khan. He said that yes, we just have to give something to the society, and we don't have to have to many advantage like money to them, because yes, they will remember us as a human when we have died. Okay, I think it's enough for me. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad. Thank you for your statement. Okay, maybe who want to speak again? Mr. Chukaneng, Ilir?
Okay.
You
Yeah.
okay? Thank you. Okay, please. It's your time, Mister.
Yeah. I don't know because yet I don't have the intention to create a startup, but I really believe it will be influence the societies because the startup is coming from a problem. But I would say that perhaps I will be a part of the startup. They'll give the contribution, like what I wrote or what I did in our societies, because I had a dream to was that to write a book, especially for whatever problem in Indonesia, and I can sell it in startup. But I would say that the legacy is not only coming from startup. There are the entire thing that you can be legitimate to your society. For example, like the occupation can be the legacy for the after or the successor government. A president can be legacy. On the other hand, a Plato, Aristoteles is not coming from the startup they built, but from the ideas they did. On the other hand, there are a lot of father that teach children about what's that, about the simplicity of life, and he did a legacy for their children to get inspired with him. I would say that the legacy will come up from what is the useful thing we contribute surrounding us. Thank you.
Miss Sophie, unmute your voice. Unmute.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Mr. Cukuneng Ilir, for your information. Okay, maybe who want to speak again? Hello, everybody. Okay, it's enough. Maybe we can continue to the new question. No. Okay. This question is maybe I like this question. What do you think? Are you interested in joining the world startup of the or the world government? Maybe we can say CPNS, CPNS, and then it's startup that's promising or advantageous for your youngster, and how? Okay, maybe who want to answer this question? Are you interested to join the or startup or CPNS? Okay, Mr. Indri, please, it's your time.
Yeah. Based on my assumptions, profession is like your girlfriend or your boyfriend. It will not guarantees today professions will be the last profession for you, and also it will not guarantee today is your you have a girlfriend and your girlfriend will be your wife until the end. Yeah, maybe the second girlfriend, maybe the third girlfriend, maybe the fourth girlfriends that it'll be your wife. It's almost same with professions. Today you are as startup-preneurs. Maybe for the next year it will not guarantee you always to be the startup-preneurs. Maybe when you got a lot of money, you will be people that work in legislative. When you stand in legislative, it's not all the time you will be legislative. Maybe when you have given something to the people, you will be the influencer. When you get the influencer to be influencer, you can be artist maybe. So this is the reason that profession and all profession is like your girlfriend or your boyfriend. They'll not guarantees to the profession it'll be your last profession. So this is the reasons that if you have to choose between work in the government or choose to be people that working in startup, and until the last you will be the people like that. For instance, it's like what happened with Nadiem Makarim, for example. I suppose that he never believed, he never think that he will be the minister today. He only think about how to make a legacy, how to make a money, and how to make something that related with his profession. But today, you can see on how he become the minister. And also for the several people that work also as the staff sus millennial, maybe I don't believe one of them has the big dreams to become staff sus millennial, I think. So this is the reasons that we don't know what will be happening for us in the future between you will work in government or you work by on your feet in the startup. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Indri, thanks your about your opinion. Maybe we can speak again to answer this question. Okay, Mr. Muhammad, maybe please give our information.
Oh, okay, thank you. actually, I'm really interested in making our own startup with my friend because yes, for now we are still stabilizing that with some of my friends, and yes, we are from in different background of the work, and yes, it's startup advantage for the youngster. Yes, we really talk about this case because in this era, I mean in 2021, we are still facing the big problem in the young generation. There are still many young generation that they just spend their time just for having fun, like uh, yes, that useless thing. So that I and some of my friends, yeah, told that it's like, oh, we have to do something new that it can be influence them to do uh, right right things, and maybe it will be useful for them. And yes, we are from different background, because when we are talking about startup, it means minimally there are three parts of them. The firstly is a hacker. Hacker is someone who has a job to do or to make programming in that startup. And the second is uh, hustler. Hustler is the job or the person who has a job to do their job in marketing. And the third is hipster. Actually, a hipster is the person who has job to do or to make a design of the product. So yes, three of them have to do their project or their job together. It means they have to have each other, because yes, when we are talking about startup, it means we are working in the same team. So yes, they have to coordinate each other so they can get what they uh, mean to another person. Okay, I thought it's my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Muhammad. It's fabulous perspective. Okay, maybe who want to speak again?
Miss Sophie, you may choose randomly. Who hasn't spoken up?
Huh?
You may choose randomly. Who hasn't spoken up?
Okay, I choose random one.
Yes.
Okay, maybe I want to hear voice Mr. Aldo. Who is Mr. Aldo? Hello, Mr. Maybe Miss Nadia again.
Okay, thank you, Miss Sophie.
Yeah, Miss. No problem. Okay,
So the
Miss.
question is, about my opinion of joining the world of startup or the world of government even. So me personally, I think that startup is one of interesting way to have a job with, because I can try many new profession, for example, like social media analyst. And I did that, and it was very interesting because I am trying to dig out about the audience in many kinds of media social media. But then, as what people said before, Mr. Indra, isn't it? It said that profession, like millennials, like would like to change the job and profession. So me personally, I think that it is interesting but to work with the government is also an option for me. It's an opening option, and so I can conclude that now, if there is interesting work to do in startup, I will go for it. But if there is also interesting chance to to work with the government, I will also interesting to do it. So both are okay. Both is good to try. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Nadia, thank you. Okay, want to speak again? Mr. Andre, wanna speak again? No, okay. Okay, one. Mr. Nasikin? No?
Yeah.
Mr. Nasikin?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, please, time is yours.
What do you think? Are you interested in China? And I think it's because as your person, I see a great opportunity for the children who know the world of startup because the world is so different from what is us to be. So if we can take a contact of this sophisticated technology, it is a good loss. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Mister. Thank you. Okay, who want to speak again? Give our information, more information. Mr. Imran Khan? Yeah, please.
See, I would say it depends on what are your like needs in your in the life, or what things actually matters in your life for you. For example, 90% of Indians, they want government job because first, government job is permanent. Once you get in the job, nobody can fire you until retirement. So it's like more secure. You will always have salary, always have money. And if you work in a government job, maybe sometimes you also get apartment and like pension for future. And a lot of people in government job, they also get chance to get bribe. Mostly people go in government job so they can earn black money, like bribe, they can earn black money and all. And it's less special job. Like you go to the bank, they're just playing games on mobile or something in, if you go on government bank, and they open at 10 a.m and then close at 5 p.m. So it's like permanent job. You won't have to do overtime. It's a steady job. So if your goals is like that, if you have want to have life that's maybe boring, maybe you doing same job for 10 year 5 year, but you are happy, but that you have a steady income, a steady life, uh, and you like that environment, so you can go in government job. uh, but if you are somebody who's like who want to learn a lot of things, earn a lot of money, travel, and be among smart people, always excited learning new thing, or kind sometimes under pressure, so you can cope with, so a startup is good for you. Because what I have seen, people in government jobs, mostly they are boring, like they are kind of dumb, because they think, oh, I got the job, now I don't need to do anything. So they don't even do their work properly and kind of act like a lazy. And most of the in government job, the salary is not good. Yeah, you have security, but the salary is not good. In startup, you can actually like earn more if you're like, if you're working in marketing, on sales, or whatever, like coding. If you're working in Gojek, you can earn great money if you have that skills. And maybe you will get chance to go abroad in different countries, also work in different, like if somebody is working in Gojek, they can come India and work in Bangalore also. So so depend on what you are looking in life. Are you looking for permanent, like in the permanent job with no stress, less stress, you can choose government. And if you want to be like something who always want to do something new, learn, earn more, you should choose a startup.
Okay, thank you for fantastic information, Mr. Imran Khan. Maybe if we work in startup, maybe it's flexible. Okay, want to closing statement for this question. Okay, guys, who want to speak in the end?
You may choose one of them to speak up randomly.
Okay, randomly. Voice. Mr. Ridwan? Mr. Ridwan? Or Mr. Aldo? Okay, I don't know want to speak in the end. Maybe host wanted to speak.
Okay, I would like to deliver my perspective about this question. What do you think? Are you interested in joining the world of startup of the world government? It's startups that's promoting advantages for youngsters. Yeah, basically when we want to grow up together, of course we realize that we have to study more, learn more about everything. Yeah, it will bring a positive impact when we can utilize as like I will deliver from the positive perspective, which happens in this case. It's because Ruang Guru, or I don't mention about the brand, but I just want to deliver about it. Most of people say that right now we are difficult to look for the job. Yeah, essentially when we can organize the program, or we can is that we can program the internet, or uh, how to play with the laptop. Of course we will get income to survive in this case, but when we can't organize the laptop, or we can't manage how to play with the laptop, how to manage with the Zoom application, yeah, we will say that it's quite difficult to get the job. But we have to realize that we are youngster. It's like Mr. Indre when said that we will be legacy, said we have to learn more, we have to learn everything, because we are living in the developed or developing countries, so that we have to grow up. We have to be smart user, smart generation uh, for earning our life in this case. Yeah, this is what I can deliver, Miss Sophie. I give back to you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Hodori. Okay, maybe it's enough to our discussion. Maybe before that, thank you so much for all participant. I do, if I do apologize, I'm so sorry, and thank you for joining in this.
Sophie is owner of Sophie.
What? No, no, Mister. No. Okay, thanks ever so much. I do apologize if I do apologize. Thank you, and I back to Mr. Khodari as host.
Okay, thank you very much. I will give the feedback for the new vocabularies what we have found or the news for the startups today. So like Mr. Indravanam said, many vocabularies which related with uh, startups or business. Okay, wait a second. Come on. Okay, let me now figure out. Figure out it means memahami. Answer, because the last time I heard someone mispronounced with the answer, but we have to decrease. Kita bisa menghilangkan we or y. In English, we mentioned or we say answer. Answer. I love value proposition. This is the di dunia bisnis produk apa yang dibutuhkan oleh customer. Value proposition. Huge, sangat besar, or unseen, kuno, or obsolete. It can be outsourcing, pengalih equity, keadilan, intervent, ikut campur, revenue, pendapatan, pendapatan, acquiescence, sepakat, and civil servant. Ya, untuk PNS itu civil servant. Okay, that is that I can deliver about. Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you for leading us, Miss Sophie, for your incredible performance.
I'm sorry
Okay,
if I have many mistakes.
Mr. Sunshine, is there any additional correction? Mr. Sunshine, Mr. Indre,
I think that's good. That's enough.
that's enough. Okay, okay. I please you all the participants because we when we this is the tradition when we have fun close the meeting we will take a picture together. Right now, I please you to open your camera.
Okay.
Mr. Ridwan, Mr. Sony, Miss Nadia, Mr.
Yeah,
Sunshine,
sorry.
could you help me
I
to
couldn't
take a
open the
picture?
camera.
Mr. Sunshine, could you help me?
Ya, oke. Hitungan ketiga. Satu, dua, tiga. Okay, one more time. Wait, I will save this. Okay, different action. Say cheese on the count of three. One, two, three. Okay, guys, thank you.
Okay, before we
Okay,
close, this is tradition. When I say Ota community, you answer yesterday, you say tomorrow. Okay, Ota community, yesterday
yesterday,
you say
you see
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Okay,
Okay,
see ya. Thank you,
see you.
guys.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Bye bye.
Okay,
Thank you, everyone.
anytime, Mr. Ridwan.
Thank you, Mr. Hudori. You are my role model.
How could it be? Say.
Yeah. Don't you miss this place?
I have an idea.